And now, 89X presents Lincoln College Basketball on 88.9 FM and streaming live from the iHeartRadio app.
Hi, and welcome to Robert Morris University in Chicago, where your Lincoln College Lynx taking on Robert Morris, the Eagles, here in this one as your Lynx come in 3-2 on the season, looking to pick up, again, win number 4 on the season, along with Robert Morris as well. They're 3-1, looking for win number 4. Alongside me, though, Adam Hoffman, I'm Nick Jackson, bringing it to you live right here from Robert Morris. Adam, again, let's talk about this Lynx team. Again, last game they played Missouri Valley, won 83-76. Kind of seemed a little close, but it kind of looked like at the game, though, it was all Lincoln in that one.
Yeah, I think it definitely was all Lincoln College. I mean, that definitely like what it seemed like, but exactly what you said. I mean, we were running and gunning. We were scoring like crazy. We were really shooting the ball pretty well. We were getting dunks, and it seemed like our defense was really clicking.
And like you said, getting dunks like that, Julian Powell led the way with 16 and 12 on the night. I know he's your pick to win here in this one as usual. But the leading scorer, though, for the Lynx, it's actually not common. Everyone thinks it's Trayvon, but it's actually Darnell Latham Jr. He finished with 18 points, 4 assists on the night. And I think if you're Coach Lett, you got to feel good about what Latham Jr. is doing in the starting lineup right now.
I mean, yeah, Darnell Latham Jr., I mean, he's kind of one of those more quiet players. I mean, when he gets his points, I mean, I don't think anyone in the gym would really guess that he had 18 points in that ball game. I mean, I think he had 2 mid-range jumpers and maybe a couple threes, and probably just the rest were probably free throws because he's by far our best free throw shooter on the team.
Again, J.J. Turner also had 9 to go in that ball game as taking on his first start for the Lynx as well. Montez Crumble also had 14 points to go with that as well. Again, the Lynx, though, from behind the three-point line, though, shot 42% in that ball game. So what do the Lynx have to do against Robert Morris here today to kind of keep that pace up?
I think, listen to what Coach Lett says. He was saying that they play a lot of pressure defense, and they might throw a press at us. So we just really need to just calm down and relax and just not let the pressure get to us. We just really need to handle the ball well, not turn the ball over.
And it'll be interesting to see. Again, Robert Morris comes in 3-1 on the season here in this one. Again, lost the first game of the season, but then since then have rattled off 3 straight to improve to 3-1. They're coming off a win over Aurora University right here on their home floor, 88-79, where Darius Branch ended up leading the way for the Eagles in that one. He had 6 assists, I should say, and 4 rebounds in that win against Aurora University. So how do the Lynx have to stop Mr. Branch here today to kind of get the W rolling and kind of slow the Robert Morris offense down?
Yeah, for Darius Branch, I mean, he's a smaller guy. He's only 5'9", but he's very crafty. He can score just so easily. So I think the guy we need to put on him is Montez Crumble. I mean, similar sizes and just really a guy that can move quickly enough to just stay in front of him.
And we're going to, I believe we're about 30 seconds away here. I don't believe we're going to be doing the national anthem. Again, the officials as well giving us knuckles, kind of telling us good luck. We don't usually get that kind of treatment.
Never get that kind of good treatment out here. I'm feeling pretty good about being here in Robert Morris.
Again, we're going to be taking a quick break. We'll be right back after the national anthem and have your starting lineup. So don't go anywhere as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Being a true American means more than just baseball, blue jeans, and rock and roll. Being an American also means taking responsibility. So if you're a man turning 18, do your part. Register with Selective Service. It keeps you eligible for college loans, government jobs, and job training. Plus, it's the law. To register, log on to www.sss.gov or pick up a Selective Service registration card at any post office. Be a man and register.
Hello, it's me. The designer jeans in your closet? The back of your closet? What am I doing here? Would you keep caviar in the back of your fridge with the ketchup and old milk? Yeah, I don't think so. So, what happened to us? I mean, have you seen my label? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Sure, I never really fit you quite right, and one of my pockets is so small you can't even squeeze your hand into it. But it's all about the look. And I look good. I need to get back out on the scene so I can be seen. You know, going to fancy parties, getting expensive iced coffees, Sunday fun days, okay? So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You are on.
Oh, well, we just put our headset back on.
You're on.
Welcome back to Robert Morris University here, where we're getting set to go here for the starting lineups here in this one. But again, let's get carried away here a little bit, as Adam and I are having a little trouble hearing ourselves right here. But let's get to the starting lineups here first for the Eagles.
Yeah, number 1, we have Jarvey Tate. Number 2, Ryan Matthew. Number 5, Darius Branch. Number 15, Joe Boyer. And number 33, Ernest Carter.
And that's going to be the starting lineup here for Robert Morris. But the visitors on the scoreboard today, again, still going to introduce them second, just because they're our favorite pride and joy of Lincoln. Here's the starting lineup here for the Lincoln College Lynx. Again, not much has changed. Montez Crumble, the 5'10 sophomore out of Cahokia, will get the start, followed with Trayvon Tyler out of Rockford, the junior 6'1 guard. But also as well making his second start from Chicago, Illinois, J.J. Turner, the senior, who stands at 6'6", followed by Darnell Latham Jr. out of Chicago as well. Look for those two to have some big games here today as well, followed by Julian Powell out of Baytown, Texas, here for the Lynx. In this one, again, you've talked about Julian, we've talked about Latham, we've talked about JJ as well, but Trayvon Tyler could not have the same game that he had the other night if the Lynx want to come out on top.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I think he needs to shoot the ball a little better, just get the other guys really involved. I mean, he could have a game where he can easily have 10, 11 assists if he just shares the ball like he's capable of. And hopefully tonight he just comes out and he plays his game. And he's very capable of scorer, but he's also a very capable passer. So we'll see what kind of Trayvon we get tonight.
And before we get to anything else in here, I just want to take a moment. Is normally when we travel on the road, we've sat a whole bunch of different places, on the floor, up in the rafters, next to the band, next to the PA announcer, done all kinds of things. But I don't think I've ever sat next to the opposing team's bench while their radio broadcast sits next to Coach Lepp.
Yeah, I think that's kind of bizarre. I think
it's interesting.
Maybe there was a feud between the radio director and the basketball team. We're not sure, but I mean, it is kind of odd, because you would think that they wouldn't want to hear what we're saying, and we wouldn't want to hear what they're saying. So it's like we'd rather hear our own team. I don't know. It's odd. It is odd.
It is definitely interesting. Again, your Lynx are coached by Coach Pat Lepper here in this one. Again, doing great things here at Lincoln. And again, the head coach here for the Eagles is Othias Jeffers. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not. Again, a former NBA player for a couple of different teams. Also has been Rookie of the Year in the NBA, in the D-Leagues. Also has been NAIA Player of the Year. Also Basketball Times NAIA Co-Player of the Year, as well as his team will win the tip here and get the first possession of this first half rolling. Boyer now with it as he kind of gives it in to Tate. Tate trying to kick it out to the corner for 3 for Branch, but again could not hit. Rebounded by the Lynx, and here comes Crumble going coast to coast, and he gets a friendly roll to start things off.
It really wasn't a good shot there from Montez Crumble. We can definitely see the pace that Robert Morris wants to play at. They quickly get the ball inbounded and get to the basket, and that's blocked by J.J. Turner. But going back to that shot by Crumble, I mean, he has kind of thought he was going to get fouled, tried to do a little Euro step, just ended up throwing the ball up at the basket. But, yeah, like you said, got the friendly roll and hopped right in.
The Eagles set the inbound on the sideline right next to Coach Pat Lepper as they will inbound it here to Matthew. Matthew working on Latham. He drives in right side lane, puts one up high off the glass. Can't get it to go. It's tipped into the air off the backboard and down into Julian Powell's hands. Here comes Tyler back the other way now. Again, the Lynx in the road black. Robert Morris in the home white. Tyler on the floor on the left wing. Trying to get a screen from Powell. He does to Turner. Turner now has a backdoor cut by Latham, but it's going to be tipped and into the hands of Robert Morris. Here they are in the fast break, as it was Tate who was trying to go up with it, but I think Julian Powell's size kind of scared him off.
Yeah, it did kind of scare him off, and he kind of lost the ball, but it said it last touch by J.J. Turner, so it'll stay with Robert Morris underneath their own basket.
An interesting call here earlier. We saw a few in the girls' game. Why not here in the second game as well?
Yeah. I feel like some of the calls in the girls' game, though, weren't even like in Robert Morris's favor, so kind of odd. You never see the away team get the home team calls.
So we'll see if maybe the Lynx can't get a few here tonight as they feed Tate down low. Tate double teamed. He's gonna have to throw a high pass there to Boyer. Boyer now at the top of the key with 10 seconds, looking right, trying to find Branch, but he throws it out of bounds, and it's going to be a turnover by the Eagles, and Lynx coming back the other way.
I think it's very bizarre that we're going into a zone today. This is not the team I expected us to go into a zone against, because they don't have that much of a big man presence, so why would we kind of just collapse on the inside paint? Well, they have shooters, so I'm not really sure why we're allowing them to shoot.
As Darnell Latham buries home a three right there, make it 5-0 Lynx on top. And again, that's a valid point there, Mr. Hoffman, as Tate drives in, puts it up off the glass on the right side to get the scoring started for the Eagles, as a baseball pass to Powell from Tyler ends up being tipped into the hands of Crumble. He'll get it back to Tyler to set up the offense here.
Yeah, we really need to slow down just a little bit. We're kind of playing a little too sloppy.
As Turner now with it at the top of the key, trying to drive in left side lane, but they're going to call a traveling violation going against Turner, and it's going to be a turnover by the Lynx this time.
That's exactly what Coach Lepp is telling his team to do, that he just putting the hands up, just saying relax. I mean, just calm down. We can't allow them to really get out and moving, because that's when they're really going to kill us.
And Ernest Carter now with it as he brought it up the floor. Branch at the top of the key, swinging it to the left. Now in Tate. Tate goes right around Tyler and just puts it up and in for two. And make it 5-4 now in favor of the Lynx, but Tyler's going to pull up from way downtown off the front of the rim and out, but gets his own miss, though, however. Now trying to drive baseline, but he's going to be fouled going against Robert Morris here. I believe it's going to be Tate.
Yeah, I think it is going to go on Tate. Just Trayvon Tyler just trying to go baseline, like you said, just got hit with the body. So that's going to be Tate's first, only the first foul in the game, actually.
And 17.5 minutes to play for the half as they throw it into Tyler. Tyler wide open for three on the right wing. Could not hit it, though, as the rebound is ran down by Tate. Tate has Turner guarding him. Kind of an interesting matchup there for Coach Pat Lepper. See what he wants to do. Tate now with it, kind of playing a little give-and-go action with Branch. Branch now over to Boyer for three at the top of the key. No. Tyler pulls down a big rebound there for the Lynx. The outlet now.
Very big rebound, I should say.
Outlet now to Latham Jr., who thought about it. Instead goes right back towards the baseline. Can't get it to go. Turner with the offensive rebound. Turner feeds Powell down low. Again, he went for the monster slam, but it kind of looked like Tate kind of scared him off a little bit. And this is exactly what you were talking about earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, I think just you need to feed them down low. They don't have that much size, but they're just, like I said, they're a lot smaller. They're going to bring in Markel Murphy here, who's listed at 6'7", so that's a better matchup for Julian Powell down low. But I think still his size just should kind of overwhelm them just a little bit, so you need to feed the ball to him early.
And Justin Parker was working with Julian Powell, trying to kind of push him around there a little bit, and you could tell that Powell was just kind of like playing around there at first, but then, Parker gave him a little elbow, and he's like, hey, man, I can fight back too.
Yeah, I think we really need to see that toughness from Julian Powell. I saw him a little bit in the Missouri Valley game, just kind of getting pushed around down there. I mean, he's a tall guy, he's a big guy, but sometimes he just doesn't show the strength like he needs to down low.
Or that he has as well.
Yeah, really, he kind of just gets pushed around way too easy.
As some good ball movement here by Robert Morris, as Carter now with it over to Branch, who takes a long three, no good, in and out, and off the hands it looked like Tyler, but instead they're going to say it was off Robert Morris, and it's going the other way.
This is the first really dead ball situation here. for Robert Morris to really put on a press, and they do. They put on some pressure on Trayvon Tyler. It looks like just a one-on-one matchup, so they really should just clear out and let him dribble the ball up the floor.
And we'll see what the Lynx want to do here. We've seen a lot of patience being played by Coach Lepp's squad. They really run the shot clock down, kind of hold the possession as long as they can as Tyler feeds Crumble, who thought about driving baseline on the right side. Could not, though. Some good defense by Robert Morris. Is Turner now with it, drives left side lane, puts it up off the glass, and it's going to be denied, though, by Carter and into the hands of Robert Morris. So here they come back the other way. They're a very quick team as Matthew will find, I believe, Boyer in the corner, but now that one's tipped out of bounds off of Tyler, and it's going to stay with Robert Morris.
That was really good, a really good recovery, really, for the Lynx right there. I mean, we didn't allow the wide open, we didn't allow the fast break layup, also didn't allow them to kick it out for a three right there, so just really good defense. I think Branch is going to draw a foul maybe on Montez Crumble. That's going to be Montez Crumble's first. All Branch did was just kind of put his butt in him, and then he kind of sprung out, kind of flopped a little bit, so that's going to be a foul there on Montez Crumble. He's not happy. He's just putting his hands up like, I didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, sometimes that's what you're going to have to do is they do inbound it down low to Murphy, but Murphy could not capitalize, so he will go to the line for two opportunities.
It really just was a defensive breakdown there from J.J. Turner. You can't allow a guy just to spin around you so easy and get a wide open layup pretty much. You got to foul him, and you got to make sure he doesn't get a shot up. He about made that for an and-one.
As the first free throw is good, but talking with Coach Lepp a time or two about this Robert Morris team is the fact that he said they're very physical, they're very quick, they like to run and gun, and they're only going to use about 10 seconds of the shot clock as the second one comes in and out. So, and kind of we've seen that fast pace here so far.
Yeah, and it's so much different from us because I heard Coach Lepp say in the little shoot-around this morning, said that our best offense is when we kill 20 seconds of the shot clock and just use that last 10 seconds. So we really just are trying to slow the pace down.
As Crumble now finds Tyler. Tyler with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now drives left side lane. Trying to feed Powell down low. He catches it in midair. Kind of a little short alley-oop, but gets it to go as a defensive breakdown here on the inbounds as Branch goes coast to coast. Could not finish. The Lynx caught a break right there as, again, I believe Murphy couldn't capitalize on the second opportunity. As now Robert Morris trying to double. Tyler with it on the right wing for downtown, and he buries home a three. Make it 11-5 into the first 5 minutes of the ball game here for the Lynx.
Yeah, I think they're really playing at a good pace right now. The Lynx are. I mean, they're capitalizing on Robert Morris's mistakes, and I think it's really showing. I mean, they're missing layups. We're running back the other way and getting wide open threes.
Robert Morris now with it as they take a mid-range jumper. That was Matthew who could not hit. Rebounded by the J.J. Turner for the Lynx. Tyler now with it. Under 15 to play. 11-5 is the score. Lynx on top. And Tyler's waiting for the double team. This is a Robert Morris team that really loves to kind of double them like that, as you just saw Matthew kind of come in as they feed Latham in the corner for three. Count the basket and the foul as Latham from the right side corner buries home the three and now goes to the line for an opportunity for a 4-point play.
Yeah, you got the three off just beautifully. It was a beautiful pass there from Trayvon Tyler finding Latham in the corner. Just kind of hit him right in the face. So, yeah, it's going to be a foul every time.
And hard to see that corner over there, especially being on the floor. Got a lot of bodies in the way as he does hit the free throw. Make it now a 10-point lead out of the gates here for the Lincoln as they lead 15-5 in the first 6 minutes of this one. The Eagles trying to come back the other way. Matthew trying to drive into the lane, kicks it out, I believe, for Murphy in the corner for three. No, he could not hit. Rebounded by Powell, and here come the Lynx yet again.
I think we really just need to get Julian Powell involved right here. I mean, try to get him on a pick and roll. I mean, they're gonna double Tyler up top, so someone's gonna be open. It's most likely gonna be Julian Powell.
And Tyler now with it. It's 12 seconds on the shot clock. As Hoffman mentioned, he takes a step back three from NBA range. No, he could not hit. Powell almost with the rebound, but could not corral it. Here comes Carter now the other way for the Eagles. Finds Branch back to Carter. Carter from downtown, and that one will rattle home this time around. So about the fourth or fifth time from behind the arc, they finally get it to go.
Yeah, they finally get one to go like you said. So hopefully that does not wake them up just too much to where they just don't miss here for the rest of this half.
Tyler trying to drive in right side lane, feeds Turner down low, drew some contact, no foul called as he could not hit. We're going back the opposite way now. Branch working on Crumble in the left corner to Boyer. Boyer now back to Branch. Branch drives baseline, kicks it out to Matthew. Matthew swinging around now for Carter. Carter working on Turner at the top of the key. Bounce pass back to Matthew. Matthew, a no-look pass, I believe, to the corner for Tate, as that was Branch. Branch now back to Matthew with 4 seconds on the shot clock, but it's going to be stolen away by Latham Jr. He's got Tyler on the fast break opportunity. Didn't give it to him. Took it himself as Tyler was past everybody, but Latham still finishes anyway.
And Latham just coming out of the gate strong here with that 4-point play and then the fast break layup. And Trayvon Tyler's wide open underneath the basket. He's just going to take it himself, and he gets the rebound off the air ball right there.
As I think it was Carter who missed that three right there. 17-8 is our score. Latham Jr. now going to bring it up the floor here. And again, he's from Chicago. I'm sure he's got family in attendance here tonight as they're sitting across from us somewhere. But he takes a step back just beyond the free throw line. Could not hit, but again, definitely on target though.
Yeah, it was definitely on target. It's a really good shot for Latham. He has a underrated mid-range game as Robert Morris is going to take a full timeout here.
And they're going to take a full timeout. We're going to take a timeout as well. 17-8, your Lincoln Lynx lead the way. Don't go anywhere. More basketball coming your way as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I feel like if I didn't have anyone to push me, I wouldn't give a bother to do it. I got one milestone down the drain, and now I got to work on the next. I see the future is really bright for me. I feel like it doesn't matter the age, as long as you go back and get it done. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
No one gets a diploma alone. You have more support than you realize. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We're back here at Robert Morris in Chicago, where your Lynx lead the way by 9. 17-8 is our score here in this one. 12.5 minutes to play. Again, Adam, what have we seen so far here in the first 6.5 minutes or so out of this Lynx team, and really kind of coming out of the gate strong?
I think we're playing a perfect pace for the game. I think we're not letting Robert Morris run in transition, but at the same time, we are running in transition, and we're getting some good shots along the way.
And we'll see what Robert Morris does coming out of the timeout. They have the basketball as Murphy over to, I believe, Biggins, but he could not hit the long three. And then we have a foul going underneath on, I believe, L.J. Johnson.
Yeah, L.J. Johnson and DeAndre Freeman check in after that last timeout for Trayvon Tyler and Darnell Latham Jr., which is kind of surprising, subbing them out so early with both of those guys coming off pretty hot starts. I mean, Trayvon Tyler had a couple threes in the layup, and Latham had a three and one, so kind of surprising. Could have a questionable substitution there.
And also had a steal in the mix
there
as well.
They're playing very well.
And we'll see what the process is here for Coach Lepp as he does make them both. Make it 17-10 now as Freeman's going to run the point for the Lynx. As I'm sure he's glad to be back in the Chicago area coming from Morgan Park as L.J. Johnson now with it, picks up his dribble. Across the court pass now to Crumble. Crumble on the right wing from downtown. No good. Rebounded though by Julian Powell, and they're going to say it was off of him out of bounds. So it'll give the ball to Robert Morris going back the other way.
It kind of was a broken possession right there. You can definitely see the absence of Trayvon Tyler on that last play. It just seemed like we weren't really running an offense. We just kind of seemed like we were just kind of running loose right there, which isn't a bad idea because we're kind of have a comfortable lead right now, but we need to get buckets. We need to pounce in this team when we have the chance.
And Branch saw Lane. He drives to the right side. Lane could not corral it as Freeman pulls down the board. He's trying to go coast to coast. Kicks it out to Crumble in the right side corner for three. No good this time either. A big rebound there from Boyer for the Eagles, and now Branch trying to bring it back up. He's got Biggins in the right side corner for three. Instead, back out to Carter at the top of the key. Carter trying to feed Boyer. As he does, he's on the left wing now working on Crumble. Picks up his dribble. Now back to Biggins. Biggins to Carter. Carter on the left wing to the top of the key for Boyer. Boyer catch and shoot from downtown. Too strong, no good. Powell pulls down the rebound here for the Lynx.
Pulls down that rebound right over L.J. Johnson, who's also going for the ball. Powell just overpowers him.
And that's where the one part where you don't want to take anything away from your teammates, but it's kind of like who could jump higher at that point. And Powell did that time as Freeman now with it, trying to drive baseline. Kicks it to the corner for L.J. Johnson, but instead he's going to be called for a travel. There took one too many steps and another turnover by the Lynx.
Yeah, just another turnover pretty quickly here. We're not getting shots really falling for us, so we're doing a good job on the defensive end, just not allowing them to really get back into this ball game. But I think the substitution, we need to get some more guys in there.
And it looks like Bobby Shanks will check in here for the Eagles, as he's going to come get Joe Boyer, I believe. And the official's going to have a quick word with him there. He does come out and get Boyer. But, again, this is a Lynx team. Last few possessions kind of struggling a little bit. What can they do offensively here to kind of regroup?
I think it's time to feed the big boy. I think you need to get Julian Powell in this ball game in some way or another. I mean, we haven't really fed him on the post yet, something that we usually try to do at least once or twice in the first 5 minutes of every game.
And Biggins now to Shanks. Shanks feeds Boyer or Murphy, he finishes on the right side of the glass and make it 17-12 now, as now Freeman was almost called for a travel, but instead he's going to get bailed out with a foul.
Yeah, I think that was the right call. Freeman really never had possession of the ball, but it was kind of rolling on the ground. He was trying to pick it up, and he got pushed. So definitely was a good call there by the official.
And that's the team's fourth, his first. And keeping really kind of staying out of foul trouble here so far in the first 10 minutes. Only 7 fouls called total here in the ball game. 4 by Robert Morris, 3 by the Lynx. As L.J. Johnson now with it for the Lincoln, as he feeds Freeman at the top of the key. 15 on the shot clock as we're at exactly 10 minutes to play in the first half. He gets a screen from Powell, goes to the left of it, kind of loses control, but regains it right back as they still have 7 seconds to go, as Freeman's still trying to throw up a prayer. And this time he's going to walk with it. So the first time he got bailed out, second time not so much.
Yeah, and then we're going to bring Trayvon Tyler back into the ball game here after that one, taking the place of Montez Crumble. Also going to see L.A. Bogan for the first time, who's going to come in for Julian Powell. So definitely going a smaller lineup right here with Bogan, or actually J.J. Turner really playing our center position. So should be a little faster this way. Should be able to guard RMU just a little better matchups, let's say.
I was watching Bogan come in, and he went to check in, and he almost didn't take his shooting shirt off. I don't think he forgot he had it on. As, again, Robert Morris now with the basketball. Lynx lead by 5 as Murphy found the lane and will finish in the paint against the Lynx. So it's now a 3-point deficit for Robert Morris. 17-14, 9.5 to play. As the Lynx coming back the other way. Freeman now with it, driving in, kicks it out to the left side corner for Turner. Turner trying to drive baseline, puts up one off the glass, can't get it to go. Ball still tipped in the air. Freeman's poking it around, but he could not corral it. As Robert Morris and Biggins will pull it down. Biggins now guarded by Freeman.
There's a nice closeout there by L.J. Johnson. I mean, Murphy was trying to post up, who's a very tall guy, as there's a no call right there. There probably should have been a foul right there on that three-point shot on the other end, though, but DeAndre Freeman gets the run out right there and a nice little lay-in.
Again, it got this crowd going there real quick as Shanks trying to drive in, goes to the left side of the lane and draws a foul. Could not finish, though, but there it is, that fast-paced type of offense here for Robert Morris in this one, as you can see that they're just not even wasting any time, just going straight to the rack.
Yeah, I mean, they're really, just for a small team, they're attacking the basket pretty fearlessly. I mean, they don't have that big man presence to feed the ball into, so they're just opening up the floor. They're going pretty much 5 out every time, and they're just opening up the lane, like you said, and they're just getting the basket way too easy.
And Bobby Shanks at the line does make his first out of Covington, Tennessee, and has one more coming. It's a 4-point lead for the Lynx here with 8:45 left to play. It's going to stay a 4-point lead as the second one no good by Shanks, and here comes L.J. Johnson and Trayvon Tyler back the other way. Robert Morris kind of showing a little bit of a press here in this one as he'll bounce past one to Latham Jr. Down low to Turner. Turner with a reverse layup, and it's too easy as Branch is no match for J.J. Turner.
Yeah, J.J. Turner, just one of the smartest post players, I think, probably in the country right now. Just he's so smart down low. He's so small, too, so it just makes him even more deadly.
As Turner pulls down the rebound and gives it to Tyler. Back to Turner, but Turner could not finish the dunk, but Bogan somehow tipped back in, gets it to go.
I don't even think he really meant to tip that back in. He just kind of running and had his hand up, and it bounced perfectly off his hand, off the backboard into the basket. It's kind of how our luck is going right now.
Of a free 2 points there, as once again, Biggins 0 for 2 from behind the arc on back-to-back possessions, as Johnson will corral the rebound. 23-15 now, as the Lynx kind of starting to pull away in this one. Can they capitalize and kind of keep Robert Morris on their heels? We'll have to find out. 14 on the shot clock. Tyler now with it on the left wing, looking for J.J. Turner down low. He could not, as Boyer was right on Tyler, but no foul was called. Bogan gives it back now to Tyler. Tyler trying to drive in right side lane, puts up a little floater as he goes right around his man. Turner pulls down the offensive rebound, goes back up, and will be fouled on the play. So Turner now going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, so Turner will be at the line for 2 to just try to just expand this lead. This is the first we're seeing of Tyrone Wright, actually. He's usually one of the first guys off the bench. We're going to see him right now. Actually, they're going to say that foul was on the ground, so Latham Jr. will take the ball outside underneath their own basket.
And we'll see. They do have a fresh 30 here, the Lynx do. Latham set to inbound. They kind of throw a lob to Bogan, who almost threw it down. But Tyrone Wright, who just checked in, gets the offensive rebound to Tyler, to Johnson. Johnson from way downtown, no good. Interesting shot choice there by L.J. Johnson. You said for a guy that hasn't played much in the varsity, kind of had some minutes in the JV game, you said he dominated. What can we see here?
I mean, yeah, he really did kind of dominate that JV game. It seemed like he could get to the basket whenever he wanted. He could shoot whatever shot he wanted, as L.A. Bogan gets a steal right here and then kind of loses it out of his hands. So Robert Morris gets the ball right back, and Murphy's going to lay it in.
And Murphy trying to get this game back to Robert Morris, as it's 23-17. We're under 7 minutes to play. Latham Jr. now with it, drives in the lane, spin move, dumps it off to Tyrone Wright for a no-look pass, and he'll finish up and under. Now it's back down, or back up to 8. I should say 25-17 is our score. Boyer now over to Biggins. Biggins in the left side corner for 3, no good. Tyrone Wright pulls down the huge board for the Lynx.
I think we really need to kind of push the base here. They're kind of just jogging back, and Tyler does exactly what I think he should do, and he drives the basket hard, and he gets the kind of a tough lay-in right there.
As now a bad inbounds pass as he feeds Tyler. Bogan stole it, found Tyler, gives it back to Bogan. He couldn't hit, but he gets his own miss and putback, as now we have a timeout taken by Robert Morris, but L.A. Bogan comes up a little shaky, but it's 29-17 here with 6:15 left to play in the first half. Adam, what are we seeing by this Lynx team right now? It kind of seemed like Robert Morris kind of got back into the game a little bit, hit a few key shots, but since then, I mean, it's been all Lincoln. They're doing it on the offense and defensive end.
I think I'm just going to keep saying it, we're playing at a great tempo right now. I think we're pretty much allowing them to shoot threes because they haven't really been hitting them. Their really only source of scoring has just been driving to the basket and getting easy lay-ins and some free throws. So I think as long as they're shooting kind of cold for the three-point arc, just let them keep shooting. I mean, eventually they'll probably shoot their way out of the slump, but I mean, they're going in for us, so we might as well capitalize while we have that opportunity.
Yeah, now on the defensive end, though, how do you stop a team that's not going to take any time off the clock whatsoever? I mean, it's simply whoever the point guard is manning the point will just simply run down and go straight to the lane.
Yeah, I mean, really just as soon as we get a bucket or like a turnover or something, you just need to sprint down floor. Just make sure you're in like the defensive setting. Just make sure that you're all the way there. I'm not really sure what's going on right now. We're kind of...
I think Branch has some blood on his jersey.
Yeah, Branch has blood on his jersey, so got to take a little more time out of the game here. But like I was saying, was just they need to just sprint down the floor. Just make sure they don't catch us off guard and get straight to the lane.
And so they're going to bring in Ernest Carter for Branch to kind of get the blood off his jersey. We don't know who it's from or who it's by, but somebody is bleeding here out on the court. 29-17, 6 minutes to play. Robert Morris with the basketball. Boyer working on Bogan. And now we have a foul away from the basketball. I believe it's going to go on the Lynx on L.J. Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson's going to pick up that foul. That's his second foul, so he's going to take a seat here. Montez Crumble comes in for him, so good to see him back in the ball game. He's going to pretty much, I think he should really guard Branch when he comes back in the game. He's really the perfect matchup for him.
And he actually took Ryan Matthew there. He did, as Matthew has it now. He takes a contested jumper by Crumble. He got it with a hand in his face, and he buries it home. So keep it a 10-point lead now for the Lynx, as Montez Crumble will bring it up the floor. Crumble looking for a screen by Wright. Instead, he gives it to him at the top of the key. Wright to the wing now in Latham Jr. To the top of the key for Tyler. Tyler thought about a three. Instead, drives in left side lane, puts it up off the glass. Can't get it to go. Wright with an offensive rebound. Put back, no. Tip back by Tyler, yes. So Trayvon Tyler underneath doing the big boy work.
Yeah, Tyler just sticking with the play. Notice he missed that layup. Tyron Wright comes up with the rebound. Tyler, with presence of mind, you can think he might miss, so he just stays underneath the basket, gets the rebound and the putback.
Shanks trying to feed Boyer. Instead, gives it back down low to Matthew, to Carter now, who was wide open underneath the basket, but he's going to be denied by Bogan and sent out of bounds. So it'll stay with the Eagles here with 15 on the shot clock.
This game's really kind of hard to cover just because it seems like we're just running up and down the floor. Nothing really is going on. I think there's an offensive foul maybe going against Robert Morris.
I believe that was on Bobby Shanks, so that'll be his first. Again, team sixth. So both teams not even in the bonus yet, as we're playing a pretty quick half, as there was some miscommunication there. Wright somehow didn't really see anybody coming, but Crumble pulls it in.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous pass there from Tyron Wright. Just tried to lob it up to Montez Crumble, but he kind of overthrew him a little bit, and Montez Crumble just conveniently and fortunately comes up with the ball right there.
And Tyler kind of dribbling it right in front of us right here. He's working on Ryan Matthews. He poked it away, but Wright down on the floor here in this one, as they do call a jump ball. Wright and Murphy were both in that scramble. As we're going to have another substitution here as Tate comes back in for the Eagles. He'll get Murphy as he'll take a seat. But again, Trayvon Tyler set to inbound here, right pretty much in front of us.
Yeah, this is kind of one of the advantages you get from sitting on the ground like this. Just you get an extra, pretty much you're listening to the game pretty much through the headset. It's nice.
As Crumble took a long three there with about 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And I bet Robert Morris kind of had something to do with that, as they've been kind of chanting down the shot clock a time or two as Tyler got it tipped away. But he almost had a steal, but tips it out of bounds. It'll stay with Robert Morris. And here comes Murphy back into the ball game for Carter this time, so didn't sit long.
Yeah, so Murphy, he's pretty much been a spark in their offenses. We're going to bring back in Julian Powell coming in for L.A. Bogan, but Murphy's just been getting to the basket like crazy. He's been defending like crazy as well, so he is a valuable asset for this Robert Morris team coming off the bench.
Right as you say that, they put Julian Powell, one of our best defenders, our tallest defender as well, on him, as Ryan Matthew trying to save it, or try to kick it out to Boyd. He could not, as Boyer now down low to Murphy, and he'll finish right there. So the Lynx had a steal, but now we have a double technical foul. And as we know usually who it's going to go on there for the Lynx, as Trayvon Tyler picks one up. And then also Ryan Matthew will pick one up for Robert Morris as well. So a double technical here against both squads.
It has to be just for chirping, really. So that's going to be a double technical. So really just should be just pretty much like a dead ball situation. So I think we still do retain possession.
First ball is number 2, Trayvon Tyler.
And they are going to keep it, like you said, a dead ball, so that the Lynx will keep possession here in this one. Tyler trying to explain his case, but we all know that that's kind of been the signature for Trayvon Tyler.
Yeah, so Tyler, I mean, he really doesn't get called for a technical that much. Definitely this year we haven't really seen him get one at all, so he definitely needs to be careful, because it doesn't seem like the officials are going to swallow their whistles today.
No, you're exactly right. So, and that's one on him already, and he didn't even have anything as he takes a step back three and buries it home. So, yes, he picked up the technical, but maybe that's what he needed to get going.
Yeah, he responded very well to it, and out comes up with the steal.
As Tate drives in, Powell's there for the block, but they are going to call a foul. We'll see if it's on Powell or Latham. I believe it's going to go on Latham Jr. It will. So it'll be his first, team 7th here, as both teams now with a 1-and-1 opportunity. And Tate will go to the line.
Yeah, it seemed like Powell came over pretty nicely and blocks that shot, but Latham just gets him with the body early on. So it's going to be a foul on Latham, but still a great recovery there from Julian Powell to come up with the block.
34-21, under 4 minutes to play now, as Tate did miss his first. Has one more coming. That one in and out as well. Powell corrals the rebound here for the Lynx, and now he's going to run the point. The big man will, as he's trying to find Tyler. He does now, as he'll get it across half court. 3:45 to play, 34-21. Lynx on top, looking for a screen here. As Tyler trying to waste as much time as he can. He gets a screen by Powell, goes to the left of it. Now finds Wright. Wright from way downtown, and that one will rattle home. So Tyrone Wright showing some range.
And I didn't think it was a good shot initially, but he got pretty good.
Now Tate drives straight to the rack, and they're going to call a traveling violation instead of a foul. Everybody that's rooting for Robert Morris did not agree.
Yeah, it was pretty questionable of a call. And we're going to get pretty much another warning there on Robert Morris. That's for number 1, Javari Tate. I mean, he just kind of got warned by the coach, just told him sit on the bench for a little bit and just don't talk for a while. He kind of got in the face of Julian Powell, which, I mean,
not somebody I'd pick on.
No, definitely not someone I'd pick on, just from the size difference. But I think just our team is really responding well. It seems like they're going to talk a lot just because they're frustrated a little bit by our offense. But I think we're playing pretty well right now.
And Crumble trying to force one to Tyler. He does. Tyler thought about it, driving into the lane, takes a step back 3. No, in and out, but Crumble with an offensive rebound. And he's going to back it out and set up this offense here for a fresh 30.
There's a really great offensive rebound there for Montez Crumble. Pretty much the smallest guy on the floor comes up with that ball. So that's a good play there from Crumble.
Powell now with it at the top of the key, looking for Crumble. Crumble's got 13 on the shot clock, has it poked away, but he'll regain it. Control as it was poked away by, I believe, Carter. It was 6 seconds on the shot clock. Right now with it to Tyler. Tyler from the left wing, from way downtown, no good. As Wright had a piece of that one, but instead Matthew comes up with it for Robert Morris as Powell tips it as it went into the hands of Shank. And they're going to call a blocking foul going against Crumble, who tried to step in there against Shanks, but was it the right call?
Yeah, I think it was the right call. I think he might have been inside the little half circle right there. So, and Julian Powell just kind of took a dangerous fall right there. He was trying to block it from behind, comes down pretty much on Crumble, just kind of tweaks the ankle a little bit.
As Shanks can't hit his first. I mean, we know the feeling here when it comes to free throws. We haven't had to shoot too many of them today, but again, Robert Morris not looking good from the free throw line here in the first half.
Yeah, they go 0 for 2 right there. They get their own offensive rebound, though.
As they throw it in to Matthew. Matthew on the right corner. Takes a step in. Jumper, no good, too strong. Powell kind of tips it into the hands of Tyler, and we're going back the other way. 37-21, 2:15 to play as they feed Wright down low. Wright triple team, kicks it back out to Crumble. Crumble from downtown, no good, but they're going to call a traveling violation underneath the basket on Tyrone Wright, and that's going to give the ball back to Robert Morris.
Yeah, so J.J. Turner and L.A. Bogan come back in for Tyrone Wright and Montez Crumble. So kind of this is a really big lineup really on the floor for the Lynx right now. So I like how we're just kind of switching it up right now. We're not really sticking to one certain 5. We're just keeping them off balance.
As Trayvon Tyler got a hand in there on Shanks, it almost could have been a jump ball there for a second, but again, it's batted out of bounds. It'll stay with Robert Morris underneath their own basket with 2 minutes exactly on the clock and 20 seconds on the shot clock. Matthews set to inbound. They'll throw it into Carter. Carter now over to Boyer at the top of the key to Shanks. Shanks guarded by Tyler. 2-on-2 as they give it down low to, I believe, Murphy. Murphy working on Powell. He kind of backs it out to the right side lane. Now feeds Boyer down low, working on Bogan. Turn around right hook and off the glass and in.
It really was all L.A. Bogan could really do. He just kind of got caught underneath. I mean, Boyer had way too good a position there to not come up with the bucket right there.
Latham Jr. now just going to let this shot clock basically trickle down. As like you said earlier about Coach Lepp just telling him to take it, as Latham Jr. takes a step back 3. No good. He had the space but could not finish. As now Shanks coming coast to coast, and he's going to run right over J.J. Turner, who takes the charge right there. And it's going to go back the other way for the Lynx, as I believe that one was on Shanks, so that's his second, team's 8th. Again, the Lynx will have the basketball here with 1:15 to play.
That was a great play there from Turner, just allowing the RMU player, I think that was, Shanks picked up that foul just to run right into him, just take the charge, take the blow, and just fall back. It's going to be a charge every time.
And with Coach Leppard kind of telling them that they just want to drive into the lane, Turner just slid right on in there and It's going to be a charge every time. We saw Crumble try to take one, and he could not, as we're under a minute to play in the first half. Bogan with it on the right wing, down low to Powell. Powell kicks it back out to Turner, who was moving on the throw, and it throws it right out of bounds. So they give the ball right back to Robert Morris, though, but they're down 14, 37-23, 50 seconds to play, as Robert Morris gets the ball in rather quickly and up the floor as well. Murphy trying to drive into the lane on Powell, but he's going to draw a foul instead.
Just a lot of emotion on the floor right now. It seems like every time something is called, either a player's clapping in another player's face or just some talking is going on. So it really is a very competitive basketball game we got going on.
And Robert Morris trailing here by 14, 37-23. They make it now 24 as Murphy made his first free throw here in this one. Does have one more coming. In Bogan, Powell, Latham Jr., Turner, and Tyler on the floor. Pretty good lineup so far here as, again, all starters out there for Coach Pat Lever. Does miss the second, though, however, as the clock's rolling now, 37-24, 33 seconds to play. About a 12-shot second difference between shot clock and game clock as Tyler with it now, trying to drive baseline, picks up his dribble, finds Turner in transition, mid-range jumper is in. As the clock's still rolling, the shot clock turned off. Here comes Robert Morris back the other way. Not going to hold for the final shot, as I believe it was Murphy who trying to drive in, as Powell corral it and gives it to Tyler. We're at 10 seconds, 39-24. As you know, Tyler's just going to let this one wind all the way down as much as he can. Look for this to be a one-on-one type of matchup here with Boyer as he takes a step back three. No, almost tried to bank it in. Wanted a foul, didn't get it though, however, but that's going to do it at the end of the first half. 39-24, your Lynx on top of Robert Morris here in Chicago so far as we head to halftime. Adam, what did you see in that first half? It was actually a fairly quick first half there in that one as both teams really running and gunning up the floor.
Yeah, I think the pace was really good throughout the game. We weren't allowing Robert Morris to really get their shot from the perimeter. So I think Robert Morris, they're probably going to make a little more shots here in the second half. So hopefully we can just limit those and just come away with the win.
And now we've kind of seen there at the beginning of that first half, Darnell Latham Jr. really was kind of catching fire on all cylinders, but since then kind of cooled off just a bit. What can we expect out of him and Trayvon in the second half?
Yeah, I think they need to be a little bit more patient on the offensive end. I think we're kind of rushing shots as we're just running up the floor and just taking jump shots where we really should just be backing the ball out, setting up an offense to where we know that we're going to get a good shot at the end.
All right, so we're going to head to halftime here in this one as your Lynx lead the way 39-24 over Robert Morris here in Chicago. Again, don't go anywhere. More basketball and analysis coming your way next as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes, another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger, 2 if you're very overweight, and 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio prediabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace. Learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you will feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I improved my credit score.
You're kidding, right?
No. How are we supposed to be the bad boys of electro-synth pop if you're out there being responsible? The band is about to be discovered. This is our year.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while now.
You think anyone in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was worried about their credit score?
I never really thought that.
Of course they weren't. Rock stars aren't supposed to think about that kind of stuff. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, write aggressively sensitive power ballads, start questionable fashion trends, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
All right. I thought maybe it was time to take control of my finances, you know? Start using a budget. Get out of debt. Set some goals.
A budget? Debt? Set some goals? Listen, I knew that we'd have our creative differences, but I was hoping they'd involve a little more scandal.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
This is 89X WLNX Lincoln, a Lincoln College station.
When our son and his wife had children, we thought he would settle down. We didn't know his drinking problems were just getting started. I don't know why he would choose alcohol over his beautiful family. In retirement, I thought my husband and I would enjoy going places and doing things together. Our son's drinking seriously interfered with our plans. All of a sudden, we worried about our grandchildren, and we didn't know what to do or where to go for help. Our son's attorney suggested we try Al-Anon family groups. I didn't want to go because Al-Anon met at a church, but I found out Al-Anon isn't part of any religion. Al-Anon is a spiritual program, not a religious organization. Sometimes they use meeting rooms in hospitals, churches, or schools. I'm glad we tried Al-Anon family groups right here in our community. Is someone's drinking troubling you? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
Hi, my name is Vera Roth, and I'm here with Alyssa Swestall, and she is the Disability Service Coordinator here on campus. And Alyssa, thank you for joining us. So what is it that you do here on campus?
So I am the Disability Services Coordinator on campus, which means that I take a look at documentation presented to me from students that are hoping to have accommodations in their classes and on their exams. And then based on that documentation, we can provide accommodations, we can provide support services, we can provide alternative versions of textbooks and other alternative formats for learning materials. So pretty much whatever a student needs while they're here on campus, if it's related to their disability, I'm the person.
You also run the Access Program, so what is the Access Program?
The Access Program is a program that's housed within the Office for Disability Services, but it's actually not just closed for students with disabilities. We are opening the program up to serve any student that would like to be a better student. So the Access Program includes a couple of different features, the first of which being Access Prep Week. So Access Prep Week starts off with students coming to campus the week before their freshman year, or whatever their first year on campus is going to be if they're a transfer student. And they get to spend that week sort of doing College Prep 101. So they get to meet me, they get to work with other students in the program, they get to meet our student leaders, and we get to do all kinds of fun stuff on campus. So we'll go on campus tours, we'll talk a little bit about some basic skills that students are going to need while they're here. We'll talk about the tutoring center and take a tour, have students meet a couple of our teachers and a couple of our faculty members, so that way when classes get rolling, they feel prepared. Additionally, during Access Prep Week, we do some discussions about the ways to be a successful student. We talk about time management, we talk about study skills and note-taking habits. So pretty much whatever students are going to need to get ready to roll, we try to cover during that week. The next feature of the Access Program starts that first week when it becomes time to start classes where students come and meet with me 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the student and what they want to talk about. But during those meetings, we'll sit down for about a half an hour and we'll talk about class. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about grades and assignments and things that students are experiencing on campus that they are trying to work through. We talk about the homework assignments that are giving them stress and the ways that they can best prepare for their exams. We sometimes will encounter some situations with instructors that we need to work through. So I help them sort of problem solve their way to being great students. Another feature of the Access Program, which is usually the parents' favorite feature of the Access Program, is that students who are enrolled in the program get the benefit of having an extended outreach to their families. So we sort of keep that accountability going both in campus and off campus. That way students can have that sense of camaraderie and community and connectedness, both on campus and off. So parents will get updates regarding grades, regarding some goals that we're setting within our meetings, regarding the progress that we're making and sometimes the struggles that we're having. So that way, if somebody at home has a creative solution, we can go ahead and use that too.
I'm Vera, and I'm here with Alyssa Swystall, and she is a disability service coordinator here on campus.
So what kind of activities do you do with the Access students?
I've really wanted to have an opportunity for students to work together a little bit more often, to socialize a little bit more often. So Access study tables are a great way that we're accomplishing that this year, where students are able to sort of hang out and talk and work together on different assignments and projects. And it's been, I think, a pretty successful opportunity. Occasionally, we'll still have group meetings where we'll talk about specific sort of lessons. So we'll talk about preparing for job interviews. We'll sometimes cover stuff with resumes.
Now, you mentioned Access student leaders. So what are the Access student leaders?
Access student leaders are students that have been in the program, who've kind of gotten their feet wet and know what it's about, and who are interested in leadership opportunities, interested in sharing the benefits that they've had in the Access program with other incoming students. So the Access student leaders are going to be there at those study tables. They're going to be around to help support the program. They're going to be faces on campus that a student can go talk to if they're having a problem that they may not want to come to me about.
So what is your favorite part of your job?
Oh my gosh, my favorite part of my job is the students. Absolutely the students. Every day I get to look at my schedule and see which person I get to hang out with that day and who's going to be coming in and what we might get to do. I've always been a huge fan of learning. I'm a lifelong learner. I love learning new things. And so if I can share some of that excitement with a student, if I can motivate a student to feel like they are participating in their education instead of just sort of going through it, that's a good feeling.
Well, thanks for your time, Melissa.
Absolutely.
I've been Vera Roth. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the second half of today's game. Coming up next, you're listening to Lincoln College Basketball on 89X.
I didn't want to talk. She just sat with me. That was all I really needed.
We got back, and of course we went to different cities. One day he called me out of the blue, and it's comforting to know that I always can count on him to have my back.
We hadn't talked for a while, and then she texted me, and we went for a walk.
She called me from time to time. I really didn't think I needed any help.
I was away from my family during the holidays, and a friend invited me to their house for dinner. It really meant a lot.
He knew I was having a rough week, so he asked me to go fishing with him.
My friend knew that I didn't want to go out, so she brought me dinner instead.
It took me from being really depressed to feeling like somebody cared. It gave me some hope. Just that one text.
Be there. Your call, your presence, your words, your support. Be there and help save a life. Learn more about preventing suicide at veteranscrisisline.net.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/therightseat. That's safercar.gov/therightseat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Where, again, your Lincoln College Lynx at halftime, they lead 39-24 over the Eagles here in this one. Again, we just have some stats and analysis. Adam Hoffman, Nick Jackson with you as usual. Again, what a great first half for Lincoln. There, I mean, led by as many as 16 at one point. Again, and now still in the lead. Adam, what can we look for as, again, Trayvon Tyler and Darnell Latham lead the way?
Yeah, I think we're having a pretty balanced scoring attack. I mean, the only guy on our roster that hasn't scored yet that's been in the game is L.J. Johnson, so you know he's probably going to score in the second half. But, I mean, Trayvon Tyler has 10, Latham has 9, and Julian Powell and J.J. Turner have 7 rebounds and 6 rebounds. So, I mean, we're playing an all-around pretty good game right now.
No, you're exactly right. They are playing great. But one thing I want to point out, looking at the stat sheet here for Robert Morris, is the fact that they came in shooting as a team 33% from behind the arc, and they're only shooting 8% in that first half. That's a big differential there. What can we look for in the second half, as Robert Morris don't plan on them shooting that poorly in the second?
No, definitely not. I think they're gonna shape up here in the second half, and they're gonna make some on their own bench side of the basket here. So I think shooting 33% as a team from behind the arc is pretty good. I mean, as a team, as one person, yeah, it's a little shaky, but as a team like that, that's very, very good. So I think, yeah, they're definitely going to clean that up in the second half, because 8%, I mean, they went, one for 12 from behind the arc. So you got to count on them to make at least 4 or 5 here in the second half.
I was going to say, yeah, expect them to make a little more than just 1 out of the 12.
That's what happened in Belleville. You remember, they went 1 for 12 from the 3-point line in the first half, and they come back in the second and make, I think, 7. They put 7 3-pointers on us in the second half. So anything could happen.
And that's where, these threes, you don't think about it, with 15 minutes to go in the ball game, but they add up over time. I mean, no matter, even if you score 2, they're still gaining an extra point each and every time down the floor on their possession.
Yeah, I think they're going to definitely clean their act up here in the second half. I'd be prepared for them to just put a lot of pressure on the ball coming out of the gate.
I would agree. Look for these guys to, after they've regrouped and rehydrated, look for them to run and gun like they have been. Kind of looked like late in that first half, they were since they were playing more of this, a lot of the same guys, they were getting tired a lot quicker. But again, as of right now, Trayvon Tyler leading the way with 10 for your Lincoln Lynx. And again, Murphy leading the way with 12 out of the 24 for Robert Morris.
Yeah, he's really been a spark here in the first half, really, for Robert Morris. They've really just kind of been shooting the ball cold, like I said, so he's really just been trying to get to the basket as much as he can, and he's been creating a lot of plays for him.
And it will be Robert Morris basketball coming out of the half. Also, you got to be careful of Trayvon Tyler and Tate both having the technical fouls as well. Robert Morris now with it. They trail 39-24 as we just got started here with the first possession in the second half. Matthew now over to Branch on the left wing, working on Turner. He takes a step-back jumper high off the glass and somehow gets that one to go. And here comes the pressure by Robert Morris.
Yeah, that was a bank 3 to get them started here in the second half. And Trayvon Tyler just burns right through that pressure. So good to see him just getting back where he left off.
As Turner feeds Powell down low, the turnaround right hook, and that one will go. You said feed the big man. They didn't do much of it in the first half. Starting out strong here in the second.
Just a great play right there. Just a back screen to open up Julian Powell. He just goes in the middle of the lane, sits, and he comes up with the block on the other end and the rebound.
As Boyer tried to drive in very quickly into the shot clock. Like you said, Powell pulls it down. As now Tyler coming back the other way. A minute into the second half, and Tyler now with it. Tyler working on Boyer, kicks it to Crumble in the left side corner, back out to Tyler. Tyler 14 on the shot clock. He kind of takes it back out as look for Boyer to really kind of stay on his hip. Now to Turner. Turner from downtown from the wing, and he'll bury one home. Wears number 3, but not used to threes.
Yeah, definitely. He's not the best three-point shooter on our team. Who is that? That is just Tate, really, just getting to the bucket right there just so easily.
I know. It's almost like as soon as you start talking, they're already trying to score.
Yeah, as soon as I just try to, like you said, I'm trying to describe the last play, and they're already down the court in the lane trying to get a layup. So they definitely play at a very fast tempo, and it really works for them.
And that's really kind of been their pace all game long, as it's 44-29. Robert Morris coming back the opposite direction now as Turner couldn't corral it. As Matthew kicks it in, trying to find Tate, but Tyler was reading it all the way, almost baiting him at times, as that one will be tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with
Tyron Wright's going to come back in for the Lynx. Seen a lot more. He coming in the game a lot quicker than he did in the first half. I think it was about 10 minutes before Tyron Wright came in the ball game. So he comes in for J.J. Turner.
Which we've said we want to see more minutes played by Julian Powell, as he's still in the ball game, as he tips that one out of bounds as well. They'll stay with Robert Morris with 13 on the shot clock, as they'll inbound underneath their own basket. Carter trying to find Boyer. Catch and shoot right off the inbounds, and you betcha, as he'll drain one right there. 44-31 now. And now, Matthew was kind of not letting Tyler even catch the basketball, as Latham had to take it, the inbounds, but now Tyler corrals it. He hands it off to Crumble on the right wing. Back over to Wright. Right on the right wing as well, trying to feed Powell down low. He had a lane, didn't see it though. It looked like Tate might have caught an elbow or something, but Crumble now with it. He drives in left side lane, and they're going to call an offensive foul as Crumble kind of lowered the shoulder right there.
Yeah, he was out of control, and he got caught in the air. He's trying to pass it and shoot it, so he just gets called for the offensive foul right there. I think that's the right call.
So Robert Morris now coming back the other way as that Crumble picks up his third, team's first here in the half. 17 and a half minutes to play in Chicago. Carter feeds the big man down low, Tate, but Tate kind of stuck underneath the basket, but somehow still with the reverse layup gets it to go between the two trees down low and Wright and Powell. Tyler now to Crumble to Latham Jr. in the left corner. Latham trying to drive in, kicks it to across the other corner for Crumble. Crumble from downtown, he'll bury home a three. And here come the Lynx yet again. Not the greatest shooting percentage from behind the arc, but again, still enough to beat you.
Yeah, that was a great play right there. Darnell Latham just finds Crumble on the other side for a wide open three.
As Branch now loses the ball on the floor, Tyrone Wright is down on the ground, but again, could not corral it before getting the timeout called. As they will say it is in favor of the Lynx. It kind of looked like Wright kind of got poked in the mouth a little bit by Branch, who also kind of stepped over him right after that play as well. But it looks like Tyrone will stay in the ball game, still holding his mouth, and he too might have caught an elbow.
Yeah, he's, like you said, he's holding his mouth. He's got his jersey in his mouth, he's biting down on his jersey. Maybe got popped in the lip, like you said. So hopefully he's okay. He looks like he's running just fine, and he's going to keep staying in this game.
Tyler feeds Latham Jr. in the corner for three. No. Offensive rebound, though, for Wright, as that'll set up the Lynx offense here for the second go-around. As they feed Powell down low, turn around right hook. Just a tad too strong over Matthew, but that's the right play for the Lynx.
Yeah, it was a pretty good play there. Just Julian Powell just couldn't get the break right there. As he is open on the wide open break, just gets stripped before he could throw it down there. And nice pass there from L.A. Bogan finding him. Lynx are going to retain possession.
Again, that was Ryan Matthew who got a hand in on that one, and had he not, it would have been a monster slam sandwich for Julian Powell.
I laugh every time you say slam sandwich.
I know, I said it on purpose that time. They got a foul before the inbounds on Tate, as he was kind of holding. He's matched up with Tyrone Wright, so that'll be his third, team's first here in the second half, as the Lynx lead 47-33 with 16 and a half minutes left here in Chicago.
That's Tate's third, like you said, so if he picks one up, he's just that more foul trouble, then probably going to have to get him out of the game.
And they tried to feed the lob on the inbounds. They could not, as Robert Morris spread it all the way. They came back on the other end as Matthew, who stole it, goes coast to coast and lays it up. Tyler now trying to go really quickly now as the up and under move, trying to feed Wright down low. He could not. No foul called, and Tate pulls down the rebound there as Wright and Tyler could not finish. Here comes Robert Morris now back the other way. Look for them to go quickly as Tate drives right in off the back of the iron, and it drops for Robert Morris. Now all of a sudden it's back to a 10-point lead for Lincoln. Look for them to slow the pace down here a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely just cannot let Robert Morris come back into this game. Cannot let it cut it to under 10. And Trayvon Tyler going to take a monster three, just banks it home, and Coach Gillette is going to take a timeout.
Now that is definitely interesting there, as we're going to take a timeout as well, a full timeout taken on the floor. Don't go anywhere, though, as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I feel like if I didn't have anyone to push me, I wouldn't be able to bother to do it. I got one milestone down the drain, and now I got to work on the next. I see the future is really bright for me. I feel like it doesn't matter the age, as long as you go back and get it done. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
No one gets a diploma alone. You have more support than you realize. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We're back here in Chicago, where kind of late to the party, but Branch just drove straight into the lane and then count the basket and the foul for Robert Morris as, again, now all of a sudden it's back to 11 points, trying to get it to 10 right here. Branch free throw in and out, and it's rebounded by the Lynx and Tyler. Tyler triple teamed pretty much. He's just going to burn right past them all. Kicks it to Latham in the corner for three. Instead, he's trying to drive baseline now. Kicks it to Powell. Powell with a baseline jumper, no good. Rebounded by Tate for the Eagles. And here he comes back the other way. Wanted a foul, didn't get one, as he kind of spins away from Tyler and Tyrone Wright as he feeds Carter down low with the backdoor cut, and he'll finish. It's now back to 9, 50-41, and this is kind of the close Robert Morris has been since early in the first half.
Yeah, we really just need a bucket right here. Just try to extend the lead. Trayvon Tyler is going to get called for an offensive foul. He does not like that call. And Murphy's going to come back in the game for Robert Morris, who's really been one of their only scorers.
Like you said, he's been practically their only scorer here in this one, as Tyler will pick up his second foul, team's third here in the half. 14:58 left to play, 50-41 here as we might have a good one coming down the stretch. LJ Johnson checks back into the ball game for Latham Jr. as now Tyler kind of getting a quick word from the official. I'm sure it's kind of keep the chatting to a minimum.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's definitely getting more into the game right now. It seems because it's a closer game, he's definitely going to take the leadership role here.
Branch now with it at the top of the key, swings it left now for Boyer. Boyer working on Bogan, back to Branch, who's on Turner. Interesting matchup here, but Branch goes right around him, and he cannot finish as that one's poked away by Branch. Turner should have had the rebound, but could not corral it. Offensive rebound and a fresh 34, Robert Morris. As Matthew goes in, takes a turnaround jumper off the glass, and he'll put it up and in over Bogan. So 50-43, now down to 7. Here comes Robert Morris with 14 and a half minutes to play.
We definitely in dire need of a bucket right here. Trying to look for Julian Powell just down low. Just hopefully he can come across a back screen and just kind of sit down there, see if he can get a bucket. They feed it to him.
As Powell might have got hit a little bit on that one. No foul was called as he's coming back the other way. Short on that jumper. I think it was Carter who is going to be tempted with the block, as now they are going to call, Robert Morris is going to call a timeout right here. We're going to stay on the floor. Adam, talk to me here a little bit. 6 minutes into the ball game, what was a 39-24 lead for the Lynx is now a 50-43 ball game, and it's kind of been, the roles are reversed here in the second half.
Yeah, it seems like Robert Morris is coming out here with pretty much a new objective. I mean, they're just getting to the basket. They're hitting jump shots. They're finding more mid-range jump shots, I think, here in the second half. They're kind of settling for those, and they're definitely hitting them. So I think we have to keep them out of the paint. We have to keep them off the fast break. We got to box out, make sure we get the defensive rebounds as well.
Well, one thing you said right there, on the fast breaks, they did a great job of keeping them in check in the first half. Again, Robert Morris only had 4 fast break points in that first half. I'm sure they have at least 10 here in the second already. But Lincoln did a good job keeping them under control. They're going to have to somehow, some way, go back to that on defense.
Yeah, they definitely, we just need to get back in transition. We just cannot let them go 1-on-2, or 2-on-1, I should say, and just get a wide open layup off a made shot of all things.
And they're really running the floor here. Running and gunning is Robert Morris, as they're kind of playing with a little chip on their shoulder here in the second half. And the Lynx have not really kind of showed up here in the second half. It almost feels like they're still at halftime.
Yeah, Robert Morris, they're pouncing on us right now. I think, like you said, it seems like our guys are a little tired, too. It seems like a lot of the guys are just kind of tugging at their jerseys, tugging at the shorts. They're just out of breath. But credit to Robert Morris coaching. I mean, their conditioning is on top. None of those guys are tired out there, and they're running so much.
At least we thought they were tired in the first half. Maybe it's going to take another 20 minutes to get them tired again, as Branch now trying to drive in right side lane off the front of the rim and out. Tyler corrals the rebound. Tyler trying to push the pace rather quickly there. Branch kind of fakes one, but Murphy comes up with the steal. And here comes Branch the other way, going coast to coast. Turner was there. I don't think he got a piece of it, but Branch couldn't hit, and Johnson pulls down the rebound. Out to Powell. Powell bounce passes one to Bogan. Bogan to Tyler in the corner. Thought about a three, instead drives in, kicks it out to Turner. Turner with the jumper from the top of the key, and he'll bury one home. So it's back to 9 here for the Lynx.
It was great ball movement there from the Lynx. Right when we thought that we were just kind of go into the paint and get a layup, J.J. Turner just spots up right on the mid-range.
As Matthew once again drives left side lane, tries to put one up off the glass, could not corral it. So he'll go to the line for 2 shots. As I believe LJ Johnson's going to pick up his 3rd, team's 4th here. And you got to give credit, though. I mean, I know the Lynx are staying out of foul trouble here, but Robert Morris only has 1.
Yeah, it seems like once again the roles are reversed, because in the first half it seems like we couldn't get a foul called on us, and Robert Morris was just fouling us like crazy. So I think it's kind of revenge kind of right now. The fouls are 4-1.
They're keeping it consistent, apparently, as both free throws are knocked down there by Matthew. So 52-45 now, as Johnson just trying to go coast to coast, burns right past everybody and lays it up with the left hand. That's what Robert Morris has been doing. That's what you want to see from the Lynx as we come back the other way. That ball's tipped out of bounds, and it'll go to the Lynx.
Yeah, it was a nice play there. I mean, they just threw the ball right out of bounds. They're trying to go back in transition real fast, and just too much for Murphy to track down, and that's going to go right out of bounds.
And they almost threw it right to us like we were like a player.
It hit right in front of the scores table, right where we're sitting.
Now the officials want to talk things over, I'm sure probably just to make sure where they want to place it, and if there should be a new shot clock, which there was no possession. So therefore, it will be the Lynx basketball here. Turner set to inbound for Johnson, as he is going to corral it. It was tipped, but still somehow stayed in bounds, as here come the Lynx. Johnson once again drives into the lane, trying to feed Powell down low. He does. Reverse layup there by Powell. Basically right underneath the basket, gets it to go.
I don't even think Robert Morris knew Julian Powell had the ball.
And now Carter with it at the top of the key for Robert Morris. Took one too many steps. And here comes Lincoln back the other way. And it's kind of been that kind of story of the Lincoln basketball, if you want to say, in that. I mean, we've seen it even in the close games with William Penn. And like you said down in Belleville at Lindenwood, I mean, it's like they get a lead and then they let it come back and then we stretch it out again.
It's like we get too comfortable with the lead. I think we don't come out with the same intensity as we do when it's 0-0. So I think that's definitely something we need to work on once we get into postseason.
And it was a kickball violation, so the Lynx going to inbound underneath their own basket with 20 seconds as they try to inbound it to Bogan underneath. He couldn't corral it. Boyer comes up with the steal for Robert Morris. A 3-on-2 fast break, and they're going to call a blocking foul on J.J. Turner, who looked to be set. Turner comes up smiling. No, he doesn't agree, but it will draw a foul. So that's going to put Boyer at the line for 2 shots, as Turner picks up his second, team's 5th. First free throw rattles home for Boyer. Again, though, Turner having an excellent game here today, really kind of putting his body out on the floor. That one didn't go his way, but that's the second charge opportunity that he's tried to take.
Yeah, J.J. Turner is one of those guys where, I mean, he's not going to be a scorer, really. He's never going to be a scorer on this team, but he's in there for defense and he's there for rebounding. So he's definitely he's played those roles very well tonight, even knocked down a 3 and a long mid-range shot, too. So it's good to see how dynamic of a player he is.
Turner had 4 points in the first half along with 6 boards. As they feed him, he takes a step back 3, no good. But that one's corralled by, they're going to say off the hands of Tyler, so out of bounds. And it'll go back to Robert Morris. Again, 56-47, Lynx lead here with 12 minutes left to play. Robert Morris now with the basketball, Branch with it. Looking for Biggins in the corner instead. Finds Murphy. Murphy guarded very closely by Powell. Back out to Boyer at the top of the key. He's working on Turner. Takes a step back jumper. No good. Bogan can't corral the rebound, and it's tipped out of bounds. Last touched off of Bogan, and it'll stay with Robert Morris.
I think they kind of caught a break right there. I'm not really sure that ball was touched by Bogan off the offensive rebound. So it's kind of a break that did not go the Lynx way.
As they inbound it to the corner, and Branch has L.J. Johnson, and Johnson has been a big improvement here in the second half as Murphy goes in, can't finish, but they're going to call, he gets his own miss and then calls a foul on the floor, says the official, as that one's going to go on Turner as well, and that's going to be his 3rd. Again, Murphy went to the line thinking it was a two-shot opportunity, but it was definitely on the floor.
Yeah, it definitely was on the floor. It was on the rebound. Tyron Wright's going to come in for J.J. Turner. But I don't really know. I think he's trying to say that he was trying to tip the ball back in, so maybe that's why he thought it was a shooting foul. But when he caught the ball is when he got fouled, not when he was shooting.
And now the officials kind of talking it over just a little bit. I think they made the right call originally by keeping it on the floor, and they do keep it on the floor. 20 seconds on the shot clock, as I believe they reset it there at the beginning, but now they're going to keep it back to 20. They throw it into Tate. Tate trying to drive in on L.J. Johnson. Instead finds Boyer. Boyer now to Biggins in the left side corner. Back to Boyer at the top of the key. He's guarded by Bogan. Drives in right side lane. Draws a foul. They're going to say the foul was on the floor with an elbow by L.A. Bogan. Also, Julian Powell was there as well for the block, just in case.
It should be on the floor, but there's a 1-and-1 situation. So Boyer will be at the line for a 1-and-1.
And that's where these fouls are going to start coming into play. The Lynx have 7 team fouls already here with 11.5 minutes to play, as the 1-and-1 opportunity is good by Boyer. He'll have one more coming. But Robert Morris, only 1 foul here in the first 9 minutes of the second half. Again, kind of interesting here as Boyer has one more coming. Second one in as well. So 56-49 with 11.5 minutes to play. And this one's going to be getting good. And now we have another foul going against Trayvon Tyler, as Tyler was trying to work with Branch, and Branch kind of sold it a little bit, but they called the charge, and it's now going back the other way.
Yeah, just another questionable call right there. Tyler just still trying to get an explanation. I mean, Tyler just kind of trying to make a ball fake, but he came up, but his elbow is a little too high. I think there was some acting involved in that play.
And that's one of those where Tyler always gets called for the most ironic calls ever.
Stuff that he does.
He does.
On the defensive end. I mean, he sells a lot of fouls, and yeah, like you said, it's ironic that he's the one that gets called on the offensive end.
As Murphy couldn't hit the baseline jumper, Johnson gets it now as he goes coast to coast, trying to throw it to somebody, but they're going to say it was out of bounds. Well, Johnson trying to tip it as it was tipped by Branch. I thought it hit off of Johnson as he was standing out of bounds. Everybody in the stadium thought it was touched by Johnson, except for the officials.
Yeah, I think they saw something that we didn't. I think the ball might have touched out of bounds before L.J. Johnson touched it.
As Bogan finds Johnson. Johnson draws contact. No foul was called. It looked pretty good, like it should have been, but no, they're going to say play on.
Yeah, I think it could have gone either way there, but it's a good transition defense there by the Lynx, just not allowing them to get in transition. Bogan comes over with a huge rebound on the other end.
Bogan basically just out-jumps Tate on the rebounding side of things, as Tyrone right now with it at the top of the key, out to Bogan on the left wing. He wants a screen, he gets one. Takes a mid-range jumper, does Bogan, and he buries one home. So L.A. Bogan now keeping things rolling here for the Lynx, as it's now 60-49 with 10.5 to play. Tate kicks it to Murphy in the corner for 3, yes. So Robert Morris answering on the other end with a 3. Now down to 8-point lead here for the Lynx. Johnson crumbled right. Powell and Bogan on the floor. In the road, black uniforms. Right to the right wing now for Crumble. He drives baseline, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Powell with an offensive rebound, put back, yes. And now we have a timeout taken by Coach Pat Lepper here in this one to make it back to a 10-point lead for Lincoln with 10 minutes exactly to play here in this one. Adam, talk to me a little bit. We've seen the Lynx kind of have their struggles on defense. What are they doing that Robert Morris is really executing well on?
I think Robert Morris is coming out of the gate. They're shooting the ball pretty well from the field. I think we're using our strengths. We're utilizing our size on the rebounding end. Definitely, I think as soon as someone gets in the lane, we just throw 4 guys at him, it seems like. And Julian Powell is always going to be the guy in the back just trying to swat a shot. And if not, he's going to come up with the rebound. And on the offensive end, it seems like sometimes we're throwing up shots just so Powell can get the offensive rebound. I mean, kind of taking a page out of the girls' team, what they do with Montero, just get under the basket. You know she's going to come up with the offensive rebound, so might as well utilize it.
Powell is doing a great job on Carter down low to really kind of establish position underneath the basket. And again, we saw with Powell, he had 7 rebounds in the first half. All of them were on the defensive end. I would say he's got about 3 or 4 offensive rebounds here alone just in the second half.
Yeah, he's got to have probably about a double-double by now. He had 3 points in that first half, so another double-double for Julian Powell.
And it's unofficial, but I'm sure when we get the end of this stat sheet at the end of the ball game, it's going to say Julian Powell double-double.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
And now you can see Coach Lepp and this rest of this Lynx team, they're trying to feed the big man down low here in this one because that's really kind of been their only spark of offense.
Yeah, it really has been. We're not shooting the ball very well. It seems like we're not getting three-pointers. It seems like we're not even shooting that much.
Bogan the foot was on the line. Otherwise, that's kind of been the longest range here in the second half as Murphy now with it. Almost has it poked away by Crumble. Now he does. Ends up getting it back, though. And now we have, I believe, a foul going against Tyrone. We're going to say riding him was the official call. So Tyrone Wright picks up his first, team's 9th. That's going to put Murphy at the line also with the clock stopped for a 1-and-1 opportunity.
Really what that call was they were doubling Murphy, but Tyrone Wright really wasn't giving him a place to stand. So he wasn't allowing him just to stand up and try to pass the ball.
Does hit his first. And Bogan, Wright, Powell, Johnson, and Crumble on the floor for the Lynx as Murphy has one more free throw coming. Makes them both, and it's back to 8. 62-54, 9:45 left to play as L.J. Johnson and this Lynx team going to have to kick it into gear here in the next 9 minutes. They want to come out with a victory here in this one. Crumble now with it on the right wing, out to Tyler, or to Wright. Wright thought about a three from the corner, instead to Crumble. Crumble to Bogan. Bogan in the left side corner for three. No, too strong. Big rebound that's poked away by Crumble into the hands of Tyrone Wright. Count the basket and the foul as Tyrone Wright, the right place at the right time.
Yeah, definitely utilizing the name there. Good pun there, Nick.
Thank you.
But, yeah, Tyrone Wright just gets the ball pretty much handed to him. It seems like it just perfectly popped out of Biggin's hands. It just went right into Tyrone Wright's hands and just gets the layup and then finds the contact, sells it a little bit. So it's going to be an and one situation.
And hopefully that's the spark we needed here in this one to kind of get things going here for the Lynx in the half, as it kind of looked like Biggins just kind of left.
Yeah, Biggins definitely a little frustrated. Tyrone Wright misses the free throw, something we've desperately just been not able to do.
But Tate going coast to coast and finishes, and that's one thing about this Robert Morris team here in this one is, yeah, they drive to the basket. It kind of looks like they're out of control as well, but they have great touch around the rim.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, Tate just finished around probably 4 Lynx players right there. Pretty much made it look like with ease.
And I was talking to one of the Lynx managers as L.J. Johnson finds Powell down low, and he'll slam it home. That's exactly what the Lynx needed right there. But I was talking to one of the Lynx managers at halftime, and I was going to say that Robert Morris is kind of playing like a 2K team in 2K18 or 19, as there's a three from the corner by Robert Morris. No good. Couldn't see who exactly it was, but either way, they can't corral it, and Tyrone Wright pulls it down.
Yeah, so L.J. Johnson coming back the other way. I think you need to look for Julian Powell once again. He's coming off a huge play.
They're actually going to find L.A. Bogan in the corner for three, and here all of a sudden the Lynx have some momentum on these last few possessions.
And they got the big dunk right there from Powell, and then the three by Bogan.
As Tate yet again drives into the lane. This time could not finish. Wright pulls it down. 69-56 with just over 8 minutes left to play here in this one. As Johnson now with it. Working on Tate. He sees a lane. He drives in right side. Kicks it out to Bogan yet again in the corner for three. This time it was short. Gets his own miss, though. Drives baseline. Feeds right down low. He'll put it up off the glass and finishes nicely. 71-56. Robert Morris already across half court.
It just seems like the Lynx have just flipped a switch as Robert Morris takes a timeout. But it just seems like a switch has just gone off in the Lynx head, and they're playing perfect right now, it seems like. That's going to be a full timeout for Robert Morris.
And as you said, Robert Morris takes a timeout. We'll stay right here. But one thing that I mentioned, or that I just saw coming out of the timeout, Trayvon Tyler wasn't even in the ball game. And he was the first person off that bench. He's excited for his team as he just saw what just transpired here in this one.
Yeah, Bogan just gets that huge three, and then going back to the dunk, I mean, L.J. Johnson just allowing the defense to collapse on him, just dumps it off perfectly to Julian Powell for a slam.
And 71-56 now is the score, where the Lynx have kind of built a little bit of a cushion here in this one. and I think it all started, like you said, with the dunk by Julian Powell, maybe even the and one by Tyrone Wright. They were back-to-back possessions for the Lynx, and then all of a sudden you see Trayvon Tyler coming out of that timeout, getting his guys pumped up and ready to go. Bogan with some big shots there. I mean, what do they got to do in the next 7.5 minutes? Because I don't think Robert Morris is done quite yet.
No, I don't think they're done either. I think they're going to come out of the timeout firing away. I think they might come out and just try to attack the basket as much as they can. So hopefully, Lynx, we have to collapse underneath. Do not allow offensive rebounds by Robert Morris. I mean, they're small, so statistically, I mean, thinking you wouldn't think they'd get very many offensive rebounds because they're not tall, but they're sneaky and they're very quick. So,
and also, still plenty of time, especially when they only use 10 seconds of the shot clock. Plenty of time for Robert Morris to kind of crawl their way back into this one. They trail, though, 71-56 as Murphy set to inbound, and he'll find Matthew. Matthew, now to Tate. Tate thought about a three from the left wing. Instead, kicks it to Carter in the corner for three. No, now to Shanks, and Shanks took one too many steps right there, and it's going to be called for a travel. So coming out of the timeout, that's not the possession that Coach Jeffers wanted in that one.
No, definitely not. I think a turnover right there, they're going to put on some pressure again.
And now they have an inbounds. Tyrone Wright trying to misplayed Crumble right there. Crumble tried to save it right in front of us, but could not. I believe you could hear Murphy in the background kind of say, that's our ball.
Yeah, I mean, Montez Crumble, it seems like he kind of got stepped on. It seemed like because he just could not find his way to the ball right there.
As Tate tried to drive in, kicks it out to Carter for three. No. Tate with an offensive rebound and putback, but they're going to call an over and back call on Tate. And Tate already has one technical foul, has to be careful of another, as they do kind of maintain him right there in this one. But that's his fourth, as the Lynx will get the ball back.
Yeah, so nothing Tate could do right now, really. I mean, 7 minutes left in the ballgame. That's a big chunk of the second half here, and he has to play with 4 fouls.
And guarding L.J. Johnson rather quickly here and closely in this one as well, so he's going to have to be very careful. As Powell now with it at the top of the key, drives into the lane, throws up a shot, basically a prayer, and this time gets the foul called. I think it's going to go on Matthew, and it does. So we'll see how many he's got. I believe that's his second, team's fourth here in this one. So Robert Morris now all of a sudden kind of starting to get into some foul trouble. Johnson throws it in to Bogan as the Lynx have the basketball up 71-56 with 7 minutes to play. Johnson with 15 on the shot clock. Takes one step in and buries home a jumper right over Tate in this one. And I don't know, L.J. Johnson might be heating up here in the second half.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot right there from L.J. Johnson. Like you said, just one dribble in, just perfect.
As Tate getting some friendly rolls off that rim. And I know he's on the home squad, so he's used to the rim and the floor and stuff, but he's gotten a few lucky bounces here today.
Yeah, definitely had some lucky bounces. That one went high off the glass, off the rim, so like you said, lucky bounces for the home.
As Johnson from way downtown couldn't corral it. Powell almost couldn't pull that one down. Matthew brings it down for Robert Morrison back the other way. Murphy now with it right down low to Shanks. He couldn't finish. They wanted a foul, didn't get one. Here come the Lynx back the other way as Powell pulled it down. Right now with it at the top of the key, looking left for Crumble. Crumble drives baseline, puts it up off the glass. Can't get it to go, but they're going to call a blocking foul going against, if it's Tate, I believe he's done, but I don't think it was. It either was Tate or Matthew.
I think it's going on Carter. That's his second. He just wasn't there in time. Montez Crumble just attacks the lane. He hit the deck pretty hard right there coming off that screen, so kind of surprised he sprung back up so quickly.
And Crumble does make the first. 74-59 now with 6 minutes exactly on the game clock. You don't see that too often. As second one, no good. In and out. Carter pulls down the rebound. Outlet to Murphy. Murphy just trying to drive in. There was kind of a lane, and he gets it to go with the left hand off the glass. 74-61 as L.J. Johnson slowly going to bring it up the floor. And I hate to say it, but we haven't seen Trayvon Tyler in the longest we probably ever have seen.
Yeah, and we're playing good basketball without him. So it's nice to see that we're more than just one guy on the team. So we're playing nice. LJ Johnson's coming in, fulfilling that point guard job just perfectly.
As Bogan now to right from downtown, no. Rebounded by Carter for Robert Morris, and they're going to draw a foul on Tyrone Wright. Didn't look like there was much there, but the official bailed him out as he's going to go to the line.
Yeah, so like you said, just kind of bailed him out. I didn't really see much contact there. I think there was definitely some selling to be done, but official might have saw something that I didn't.
I'm with you. I didn't really see much either, but Carter going to go to the line for 2 shots as Wright picked up his second. Carter now at the line, 74-61, 5:20 left to play. As the first one, no good. And I don't think I've ever seen a team shoot worse than us from the free throw line.
Yeah, I guess that's just, the ball does not lie. I didn't see a foul, and he misses the first free throw, so.
And then we jinx him as he makes the second. 74-62, 5:15 left to play. Johnson now about to be double-teamed in the backcourt. Finally just throws it across half court to Tyrone Wright. He's double-teamed now to Johnson. Johnson backs it out to set up the offense here, and you know Johnson and Coach Lepp are going to run that shot clock all the way down.
Yeah, definitely. I think we just need to just keep more time, no time at all for Robert Morris to come back into this game.
As Wright now close to a 5-second call from holding it, but then starts to dribble and draws a foul. I think it's going to go on Murphy. It does. His second, team 6th. So the Lynx not in the bonus just quite yet. They'll inbound on the baseline or on the sideline. They lead it though, 74-62, as we're under 5 minutes to play now. They throw it into Crumble. Crumble now over to Johnson. Johnson on the right wing, drives in, turnaround jumper, and he'll get a friendly roll just like Tate does. Make it now 76-62 and have it game LJ Johnson. Tate going coast to coast, and he lays it up and in before Adam could even get a chance to talk.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything right there, and then Tate's just on the other end, just with a basket.
And now they have a foul before the inbounds after the made basket going on Ryan Matthew, his third, team 7th here in this one. So that's going to send Crumble now to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity here. As, again, Montez Crumble, one of our better free throw shooters.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, he's one of the stronger free throw shooters on the team. Hasn't really gotten that many to go tonight. Knocks that first one down, so he will have another. Or we're just trying to extend that lead. Just do not give Robert Morris time to get back in this ballgame. We see Murphy hiding behind the referee to get really back in transition. Crumble notices it. He's at the free throw line.
Yeah, he was kind of creeping down like he was right in front of us here, like he was checking into for the scores table, but instead Murphy could not hit. Rebounded by J.J. Turner, who checked back into the ball game. Now for Tyrone Wright, as Johnson will just bring it up to half court. 4:15 to play, 78-64 lead for the Lynx, as Johnson had it knocked out of his hands, but finds Crumble somehow, lobbed to Powell. Powell wasn't quite ready for it, and here comes Robert Morris back the other way. Shanks, coast to coast, will lay it up and in. Turner with a nice move there to just let him have the easy 2.
Yeah, you can't foul in that situation.
Crumble kind of lost the control of it right there, but will regain it and give it to Johnson. 78-66, 12-point lead for the Lynx, and it's kind of staying around that area here. As Crumble feeds Turner, he trying to drive baseline, but kicks it back out to Crumble. Crumble catch and shoot from downtown, off the front of the rim, no, and out. Rebounded by Robert Morris, as here they come quickly back the other way. Carter to Murphy. Murphy thought he walked out to Tate. Tate from downtown, and he buries one home. So Tate really stepping up here in the second half, as now Shanks kind of took it off the inbounds, and they're going to call I believe a charge going against Shanks as he stole it off the inbounds. Turner stepping in there and taking the charge.
Yeah, Turner, like you said, he just stood right there, just waited for the contact. I mean, it's clearly a charge.
He was definitely outside the restricted area. And like you said, you can't just run somebody over like that, as Latham Jr. and Tyler both check back into the ball game. Here as Bogan and Turner take a seat, but I know Turner's not happy by coming out, but he played some big minutes there for the Lynx.
Yeah, he definitely played some big minutes, and he's coming off a great defensive play. It's just kind of one of those things where it seems like right when we think a guy's getting momentum, Coach Leff just takes him out.
As Johnson now trying to drive in, and throws up a floater, couldn't get it to go, but then tips it out of bounds, so it'll stay, or it'll go to Robert Morris. But I think Johnson was lucky he didn't pick up an over and back call right there.
It definitely could have been a foul just on the arm. I don't even think it was an over and back. He kind of got his arm in there on the rebound. So yeah, lucky there to not pick up a foul.
And so Robert Morris now will bring it up the floor, look for them to thought about calling a timeout. Instead, they do not. We're under 3 minutes to play, 78-69. And now we have a legal screen going the other way as Tate's going to pick up a foul right there. If it's on Tate, they're going to say it's actually on Carter, so his third. But Tate caught a break right there. Now Matthias Jeffers not happy here.
Yeah, he's not happy. He said Trayvon Tyler is not in a pretty much a legal defensive move. He's fronting him, just not allowing him to go grab the ball. So yeah, kind of a questionable call there. I will agree with Robert Morris on that one.
There's been a few as Tyler trying to work too quickly here, trying to feed Powell, but they're going to say it was tipped out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Lynx right here in this one, as that was a bullet from Trayvon Tyler.
Yeah, it was a bullet. I'm kind of surprised that it was not called out of bounds on us. I thought Trayvon Tyler just threw that one out of bounds. I thought it went through Powell's hands.
As they throw a lob to Tyler, and Tyler over, I believe, Matthew, and he gets it to go. So the lob doesn't usually work for us, but Tyler somehow finds a way as Tate drives in, can't finish, but Shanks is there with an awkward putback. And now we have a official's timeout, as I believe Tate kind of cramping up a little bit, holding that right knee. Looked like the back of his knee.
Yeah, I thought he picked up his leg like he didn't even have any feeling in it.
At first I thought it was a cramp, but now it kind of looks like it's the back of the knee. That could be a serious injury here, and a big blow for Robert Morris, as Tate had 20 here in the ball game.
Yeah, he's definitely been a huge part of this Robert Morris team, so something we definitely need to exploit, because he's one of their main offensive guys.
As Tyler now back out to Johnson at the top of the key. Johnson takes a step back and in and out, as again a good shot though by Johnson, just couldn't get the fall, as now Matthew loses the ball. Powell on the floor trying to dive for it, and we're going to have a jump ball. They are going to say jump ball, possession arrow in favor of Robert Morris. You can see Tyler was trying to call a timeout right there, but again, they didn't let him. So Robert Morris basketball as they trail by 9 with 2:02 to play, 80-71, your Lynx on top, as it's kind of been a dogfight here throughout this entire second half.
It really has been. Robert Morris down 9, like you said, so they're not rolling over. I mean, they're not going to give in, so we have to just keep playing well.
As they work quickly on offense, Matthew tried to drive in, kicks it out to Murphy, and he buries home a 3. So 6-point lead now for Lincoln. Minute 47 left to play, 80-74. Again, Tyler, Johnson, Latham Jr., Crumble, and Powell on the floor here for the Lynx, as Crumble working on Carter. Here comes the double team. And Johnson looked like he traveled, as there's a lob to Powell, and Powell will slam it home. And that's a huge play there for the Lynx. Might have caught a break, as it looked like Johnson might have kind of took a few too many steps here, but again, Robert Morris not happy with what just occurred right there.
I'm pretty sure the head coach of Robert Morris just picks up a technical foul right there as well. So
again, though, timeout taken, though, 82-74. Again, Robert Morris not happy there, as I believe we have a technical foul called on somebody for Robert Morris.
They said on the bench.
To the bench, I believe they're going to say it was on Matthias Jeffers, I believe. Either way, we have a timeout, and they got a technical foul, so the Lynx should be shooting some free throws here coming out of this timeout in this one. Also, Murphy was kind of taking a peek in and kind of to hear what we had to say as well for Robert Morris. I think he should be in the huddle kind of paying attention to his head coach there, who's not happy, who was basically on the floor. But again, Adam, let's talk about that last possession there. It almost looked like a breakdown for the Lynx. Johnson had nowhere to go with it. Like we said, could have been called a travel, wasn't called. Finds Crumble, and then Crumble lobs one to Powell, who ends up slamming it home, which ended up worse for Robert Morris.
Yeah, just something that we think that probably should have been a turnover on the Lynx just turns into a huge play for the Lynx. So I'm not sure really what's going on. I think the technical foul was on the bench because the bench was on the floor. They kind of got up and started to just argue with the call. So yeah, you can't do that. You have to stay on the bench. You have to stay out of bounds, really.
And again, they're lucky it was a technical foul and they're not ejected for it as well. I know that's something that's a no-no. They don't want them on the floor, as Johnson was taking the technical free throws and could not hit them. But Lincoln will not get the ball back. 82-74, minute 28 left to play here in this one. As here comes the full court press now by Lincoln. They throw it into Murphy. Then they kind of scramble back as Murphy trying to go coast to coast and somehow gets it to go through contact. He's on the floor. No foul was called, but that's usually what's going to happen if you were just giving the officials an earful.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was some contact there, but I don't think it was enough to call a foul. As they're doubling, so someone's open. We're just trying to waste some time now.
As a minute to go here, Crumble now with it back out to Tyler. Tyler's just going to hold it. He's working on Branch, and Branch just going to try to poke it away from him. But again, drew a lot of contact, and Tyler knows. He just walked straight to the foul line. He knows.
And he has been struggling from the free throw line as of late, the last few games. So hopefully he can knock him down here just to try to seal this game away.
Oh, well, don't tell him that. We'll see. Tyler can hit a pair right here. First one is in. But one thing I want to note, I do want to point out, though, as Tyler does lead the way with 16, but Johnson having himself a game here almost into double figures.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's playing very well. And Markel Murphy for Robert Morris, he has 24 points. I mean, he's been playing very, very well. He's definitely been their spark on offense.
84-76 now, under a minute to play. They throw it into Crumble. Crumble working on Carter. Instead, he'll back out and kind of waste some more time as much as they can. Robert Morris not fouling here. Crumble still with it. Out to Latham Jr. Latham kind of backs out a little bit. We're at 37 seconds to play. Latham drives in with 14 on the shot clock. Kicks it back out to Tyler. Tyler now to Crumble. Crumble drives in. Denied, though, by Murphy. And is going to draw a foul as him and Crumble exchange words and smiles.
Yeah, Crumble's kind of saying, like, how do you foul me in that situation? I mean, you guys are down. Your coach told him not to foul, and as soon as he said that, he fouls him. So, and Murphy is trying to get away with the block right there, but he clearly got body contact.
It's actually going to work out in the favor of Murphy here, as Crumble could not hit the first one. And Murphy kind of still dancing around, having words with the officials. But Crumble has one more free throw coming. And Freeman also checked into the ball game. Here, I believe he got Tyler. Just kind of interesting. Johnson also still in there. Matthew with it. Pulls up from downtown. No. Johnson pulls down the rebound. Shot clock turned off. The only thing the Lynx have to do now is just get it across half court, as it's 85-76. But Robert Morris with a good press right here as they throw it down to Powell. Powell was just kind of standing in the lane all by himself, like you said, with the double team. But that one's pretty much going to do it here.
Yeah, it's going to do it here.
Well, Robert Morris ends up coming up with a steal, a 3-on-0 fast break. Matthew will just lay it up and in with 2 seconds left to go, as Johnson will just bounce past one into Crumble. And Crumble's just going to smart enough to let it go, not take the jump ball. But that's going to do it here by the final, as your Lynx win on the road here, 85-78 over Robert Morris Eagles here in this one. Adam, it was a great game. Again, a hard-fought game. It looked to be all Lincoln in the first half, but then Robert Morris really kind of built up their momentum and came back late in that second half and kind of kept it close from there on out. But what did the Lynx really do well in this ballgame to really kind of come through with the victory?
They played with a great pace. I've been saying it all game, but they really did. We stuck to our strengths, and we really exposed their weaknesses. I think, they coming out shooting so poorly from the three-point line in the first half. We kind of let them do it in the second half, and they made some more of them, but it wasn't enough.
Again, I would have to say the star of the game would have to be Trayvon Tyler, really leading the way here in this one. But again, Adam, what did you see in that second half that really kind of stood out to you the most, and who is your pick for the player of the game?
I think what stood out the most is how well we were playing without Trayvon Tyler. So I'm actually going to go with L.J. Johnson as the player of the game. Julian Powell also had a monster game, definitely a double-double, had a huge dunk at the end, but L.J. Johnson just coming in, running the point when Tyler's not on the floor, and we're keeping the lead. I mean, we never gave up the lead with him on the bench, so I think that's a pretty good sign.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you right there for the player of the game. I mean, I like Trayvon Tyler. He's always a good pick, but I think you convinced me to switch it over to L.J. Johnson. You're exactly right. He did come in when we needed him in a big moment here in this one, and then all of a sudden, like you said, with Trayvon Tyler not being in the ball game, Johnson stepped up really well, and that's exactly what we needed when the game was getting real close there at one point. But your Lynx do win by the final score of 85-78, as that's going to do it. Thank you so much for us here. Real quickly, we'll see who finished with the most points in this one. Tyler with 17 and Powell with 13. And you want to say it real quick?
9 rebounds. So didn't quite get that double-double. That would have been 3 straight double-doubles for him, but just 1 rebound short. I don't know if they counted that right. I could have swore he picked up at least 4 rebounds in that second half.
Yeah, we'll go with it. We'll say he miscounted. But your Lynx do win by the final of 85-78. Again, tune in on Friday for the Lady Lynx game as they'll take on Bethel College at home at 5:30. That'll be Adam Hoffman and Daniel Sala on the call for that on LCTV. And then following that on Friday night as well, I will be by myself at Bethel College as the guys take on Bethel College as well. That'll be a ranked game, so a big game coming up for the men's side here on Friday, so tune in for that as well. That'll be on the WLNX as we are right now. So a lot of big games coming up Friday. Adam, we got a lot of dude to get there till then, so we're going to sign off right here. 85-78 was the final. He's Adam Hoffman. I'm Nick Jackson, and we will see you guys Friday. Adam?
Huh? That's all she wrote. This concludes tonight's coverage of Lincoln College basketball on 89X. This is 89X WLNX Lincoln. A Lincoln